Addicts, thank you for watching another video from Ironhorse Addiction. Today's ride takes us through the southern mountains in California, along the Pacific coast, and over the Paloma mountain range. So let's mount up and get on with the adventure. So here we are on our first trip of the 2022 riding season. It's late March, it's finally starting to warm up enough where we can ride and not freeze. So we're pretty excited. One thing I've always wanted to do is explore both north and south of I-8. Being an Arizona boy, we always headed to San Diego in the summertime for a little break. And we always went down the I-8. And I've never gone north or south of that main highway. Hitch has been along portions of it, but has never taken it from Jacumba all the way into San Diego. That's the plan for today. We'll exit the 8 just outside of Jacumba and explore the great country south of the I-8. Addicts, as you ride down the I-8 and you look south, you kind of see what looks to be more of the same as far as terrain is concerned. It looks like desert out there. Much to my surprise, there was a lot of green intermixed with the desert landscape. And since we were going through mountains, it didn't quite feel like the deserts from home or the deserts you see right off of the I-8. As we passed through small towns like Manzanita, Buckhorn Springs, Canyon City, we noticed huge swaths of land that serve as farming grounds for the people that call these places home. Near the town of Buckhorn Springs, there's actually a couple of museums. I think one's called the Pacific Southwest Railroad Museum. The other one is a tribute to some stone masons that lived in the area. But all in all, it was a beautiful ride. I think I was surprised the most by this section of our ride. We had just come from boulder-type mountains in desert areas and terrain more similar to what I see off the I-8. Now we're riding in rolling green hills, more of like something you'd see in Kentucky or Tennessee. It was beautiful and honestly not what I expected in this area. Really glad that we took the time to go off the beaten path and explore the countryside. And of course, no trip to San Diego is complete without a stop at the Gaslamp Quarter. This is considered the heart of San Diego and a great place to find fun and food. If you've never been to San Diego, the Gaslamp Quarter is a must. What's up, addicts? We might be a little salty today because from midnight to about 2:30 a.m. we got this. Yep, our hotel caught fire last night. The crazy thing is, I put in my earplugs and fell asleep. It was awesome. Anyways, today day 2, leaving San Diego to ride up the Pacific coast and then head into the Poma Mountains. Should be a great day. Hitch and I are gonna grab a bite to eat, and then we're out on the road. Morning, guys.
Mike got a shower today with the sprinkler system, so. Right.
Yeah, Hitch is doing the huge.
Yeah.
He's got to make his bike look pretty.
Make it look shiny and new every day.
I still haven't found out how to entice him to wipe down that blue one yet.
Nope.
But maybe one day.
Nope, that day will never happen. Never happen.
Addicts, as you can see, we finally made it to the coast. There's just something special about riding your Harley while you're looking out, seeing the waves crash up against the coastline right next to you. I'm not quite sure how to describe it. You know when people ask you what it's like to ride a motorcycle and you can't describe to them that feeling of freedom, just having that open air in your face? Well, riding next to the coastline adds another layer to that. It makes it even more difficult to explain how, I guess, exhilarating and fun it is to ride a motorcycle. There's just something about looking into the ocean, that wide open space, that accentuates that feeling of freedom. After a quick lunch, we were off again and headed to the Poma Mountains. We ran into a few issues and learned to lane split for about 15 miles. Unfortunately, there was an accident on the I-5 that shut down the road for quite some time. After a brief 30 to 45 minute delay, we were off again and arrived at the foothills of the Poma Mountains. Riding the Poma Mountains was awesome. It seemed like there wasn't a straight section on this entire ride. When Hitch and I got up to the top of the mountain, we both looked at each other and said, "This reminds us of the Dragon in North Carolina." So in honoring the Dragon of North Carolina, we have nicknamed this particular ride the Poma Python, because it reminds us of a coiled python running through the mountains.